Today we have a big boozy fumble. Ballast Point goes off the deep end. Gross beer origin stories and 29 reasons bottled beer is best. Let's go! Welcome in, everybody. It's the Craft Beer Republic. Thanks for drinking. Thanks for joining. I am Greg, and joining me from his cozy little basement, that's Flex. What's up, big fella?
Hey, we finally got rain today for the first time in, let's see, it's the 27th of July, so like 27 days at least.
Wow. I got rained on the other day, and it was also like 95 degrees. Fucking monsoon shit.
Lucky.
Yeah, it was like, it lasted for like 4 seconds. Not unlike myself.
Today was the first measurable day of rain in July, so everybody's lawns have been brown for at least since 4th of July.
Do you guys normally get a lot of July rain?
Last year we did.
Oh, okay.
And then we got those such bad rain in August last year. It made like national news for all the flooding and shit.
Oh.
So that was a thing last year. So we got a lot of rain last summer. Complete opposite this summer.
Crazy.
Yeah. We just had a lot of 90-degree weather.
Yeah, that's me down here. It's balls 100 degrees out right
Making
now.
me feel like I'm in California.
Yeah, welcome to the fucking sweatshop, everybody, where the balls don't dry off. Or
Wet
the
balls.
Yeah, or the boobs. Whatever you got. Whatever's swinging, it's sweaty. If you're still with us, follow us at Craft Beer Republic. At FlexBeer _ in between. craftbeerrepublic.com. Mail at craftbeerrepublic.com, and maybe get some Poopgate stories or any of that kind of stuff.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah, 805-538 beer. Apologies for any weird noises you may hear coming from my end. I'm at a hotel, and A, the AC is quite noisy, and then B, a few minutes right before we started, I heard like children at the pool playing.
You got a pool view room.
I got a pool view, but I must admit, I'm not like that close to it. So it just shows how shitty these walls are, and I can't wait to try and sleep tonight. It's going to be great. Yeah. So anyways, apologies in advance to all of you listening out there if it sounds like ass tonight. And extra apologies to the listeners of Las Vegas, who are our top listening city from last week.
Look at that.
Yeah, welcome back
City.
to Vegas. Yes, I've done a few sins there myself.
Amen, brother.
Amen. Anyways, speaking of sinning, let's do some drinking. Let's find out what Flex is sipping on over there.
In a world where craft beer is king, a world where muscles are bigger than growlers, only one tongue can guide us. One man, one tongue, one tongue jobber. In this world, we must find out what is Flex drinking.
Well. Here we go again. I've got friends in beer places. Big shout out to Pilot Tom.
Oh,
He was very down on himself for the last beer that he shared my way. The Heist Brewery or Heist Brewing from the old Total Wine in North Carolina when he was out that way.
North Kakalaki.
Just wasn't, top notch. And he told me he would never shop at a Total Wine ever again. He said he's completely done with Total Wines.
Smart man.
And he was out in Virginia at some bottle room, tap room, bar type facility.
Sounds fancy.
And he sent me a text and he said, "Hey man, have you ever had Lawson's Finest Liquids Sip of Sunshine?" And I said, "Well, as a matter of fact there, Pilot Tom, I have not." So he asked if I wanted him to pick me up a can. And golly gee, I said, darn tootin' right.
I'd like to see that text string.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's not exactly what I said, but I said, yeah, I'll take a can if he's willing to bring it home. And so he did. And this, if you're ever on the Beergram, Instagram, whatever, this gets posted around all the time. I think one time a year, Lawson sends a shit ton of shit out to influencers. And I've seen it probably 300 times on posts. Never, ever, ever
Easily.
have I been able to have it in my hand and be able to drink it. So big shout out to Pilot Tom. This weighs in at 8% ABV. And
Daddy.
on the old Untapped here, Greg, I've had 22 friends that have had this beer, allegedly.
Okay.
And they gave it a 4.22 collective.
Okay. I might be one of those people.
And globally, you have 214,000 check-ins with a 4.29 cumulative rating. So pretty high, pretty gnarly. They say our lupulin-laden India Pale Ale is packed with juicy tropical fruit character, bright floral aromas, and delectable layers of hop flavor. Pour mindfully, inhale deeply, and enjoy a tropical vacation in a glass.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they realize they put it in a can when they say that, but I'm just kidding. They already said pour mindfully. So on the old nosebuds here, first off, before we get to the nosebuds, pretty classic IPA, West Coasty.
Yeah. Copper color.
Copper. It's clear.
Barely
you can see my hand through the glass. It's solid. Little bit ahead, not too much, but and when I poured it, like dissipated as it was pouring. Like it was very nice. It wasn't foamy, and I enjoy that. I don't like having to fight for my foam to get down. So now we'll get to the old nosebuds here. It's super duper faint, the aroma. Maybe it's floral. Not picking out anything too tropically, so I'm going to go with more of those floral notes like they said.
Okay.
Real faint on the aroma. So without further ado, we will dive in with the old tongue jobber and see what I've may or may not have been missing.
Here we go. And while you sip on that, I have found my check-in of this beer, which I will wait till hearing your thoughts.
I have thoughts.
Okay.
How do I start this? This is a good beer. I would say it's a really good beer. It's like you got to look for it more as like of the style it is, right? So West Coast IPA is usually malty, super bitter on the back end. You get that grapefruit, that floral, that pine. But everything like really lingers and is usually pretty thick. So with this, it's a little bit thinner on the mouth. You don't really get that malty backbone at all.
Oh, good.
And there's a super duper mild lingering like a West Coast IPA. But like all in all, it's like a super clean beer. The flavors aren't shouting out by any means. So I'd say this is just like, it's like a really good West Coast IPA. Is it blowing my mind? Not by any means. And little freshness story on this. It was canned on June 10th of 2026.
Okay.
When Tom got it from this bottle shop, tap room place he was at, it was kept in the cooler, and he bought it from the cooler, kept it in his fridge at his hotel, packed it in his lunchbox, which is a cooler.
Okay.
As he flew home, and then fridged it to then coolered it when he gave me. So the cold chain, that's what they call it, was hardly broken. So this was kept pretty fresh, pretty cold.
Sounds like it.
And so I feel like I'm getting the most of what I could get from this beer.
Right. It was not altered by his transport.
Right. Or, mishandling on, any part before we know. That's before we know we got in the bottle shop, but that's
sure.
So.
Reminds me of Norbert John. He is very similar. Like whenever we meet up to exchange beers, I feel so inferior because he's like, here, let me get your beers. And he reaches into his trunk and he's got this nice ice chest with, just probably dry ice for all I know, but all of these nice ice packs. And he goes, here's your ice cold beer that's been in my car for a few hours. And I'm like, oh, thanks so much. Here's this warm ass beer that's just been sitting in my back seat. I need to step up my game. And I know it's not good for beer. It's not like
these guys, they take it pretty seriously, apparently.
I know. I need to be better about that. I've got to have a cooler somewhere. My biggest problem is my ice chest is in a weird spot in the closet. I'm like, that's such a pain in the ass to get out. I won't be that bad.
Tom tried to make the excuse that he had a Costco trip before he went to when I met him at Eagle Park, and he had some frozen foods in the cooler, and that's why he had the cooler.
Right. You're like, Tom, I don't see any food.
I'm not buying it, Tom.
Yeah. I didn't see any Hot Pockets.
I bet you got that cooler in your trunk every day, just in case you're transporting beer.
Yep.
You know he does.
My kind of guy.
So another quick shout out to Tom. Thank you so much, Pilot Tom. Glad I was able to try this beer. It is very good, much better than the Heist Brewing beer. And let
me know when you're flying into Burbank.
Say about that. If you ever go to California, let Greg
got meet up for a beverage.
Yeah.
All right, so as promised, I found my Untapped review. This is it was so long ago that I had it. I actually checked it in on Untapped. And when Flex and I were talking before the show, I was telling him what I remembered. I hadn't looked it up yet. So what I remember is, and Flex sort of compared it loosely to a Pliny. And I said, yeah, it's Pliny-esque. To me, what I remember is it's lighter than a Pliny, a little more well-rounded, a little less bitter, like a real solid sort of Westy IPA type of thing. Here's my review. I gave it 4 stars. So clearly I'm a high pour. And I said, lots of what you're looking for in a classic clean IPA. Hides the ABV real nice with lots of dank flavors.
Yeah, I would say that's about true.
Okay. That was May of 2019.
As it warms up, the dankness definitely comes out more.
I bet, yeah.
And I would say you're not a high pour because you rated it lower than the cumulative.
That's true.
And I would say I would give it anywhere between the 3.9 to the 4.0.
Okay.
So right in that wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Would I rather have a Pliny? I think so.
Oh, and see, I would not. That's probably because I can get Pliny.
Oh, and I really enjoy the. I feel like the flavors of the hops come out of the Pliny more, and I really enjoyed that. This, very subtle and more florally than it is fruit forward.
Well, now we need to do science. We need to get a Pliny and a Lawson's.
Yeah, Tom,
side by side.
If you just head back out to the East Coast and then fly all the way back out to the West Coast and hook me up,
that
would be great.
Come on, wheels up, Tom.
Yeah, we know he's got his own plane.
Duh. Oh, man. Well, speaking of some hydration, over the weekend, we did a little boat trip. And not our typical boat trip. Instead, it was it's a lake near my house, a small lake. Man-made. There's houses on it. It's more for the people to be rich and live on it.
Okay.
Anyways, my boss has a boat that he rents a slip there. It's one of those like little electric boats. I don't think you're allowed to go more than like 5 miles an hour on that lake, or 10 or something like that.
Like a pontoon boat?
Yeah, it's like an electric boat. It's it's not big, but if you can fit like 10 people on it. And
okay.
Yeah, we've done this a few times. First time this year. Brought some beverages out and some snackies, and we just cruised around the lake for like 4 or 5 laps until we ran out of battery.
I've never heard of an electric boat before. I'm going to say.
It's super common out here, like in small lakes like that, like Newport Harbor, which is a popular sort of touristy place. You go rent an electric boat and you can just go around the harbor. You can't leave the harbor because I think it would be overtaken by waves in about 4.5 seconds. But
okay,
they're small. So, but, we bring some drinks out, bring some beers out, and we started with champs because it was kind of early. It was gonna be so hot. We started like 10 a.m. So we did some mimosas.
God, that's the classiest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, and we swapped over to beer and seltzers for some of the others. It was a good time. We did run out of battery as we were coming in. That was a little freaky.
So what do you do then?
So I let my friend drive. She'd never driven the boat. And I was like, yeah, you can drive. So she's like doing things and putzing around. And I'm not looking at the battery gauge because I'm like, how bad could it be? When I was sitting there, it was mostly in the green. There's green, yellow, red. She's putzing around, does a couple laps. And it was about time to head back because we agreed to be back by a certain time. And as she's heading towards the dock, she goes, hey, you should probably switch. I don't know how to bring this thing up to the dock. I said, no problem. So I get in the driver's seat. And I go to put the throttle down and just nothing. Zero. Boy. I was like, what the? So I look at the meter, and like when the throttle's up and not in gear, like it's almost green. It's like the top of the yellow, almost green. I was like, what the hell? As soon as I put the into motion or whatever, put the throttle down, it like drops all the way to 0. I was like, well, that's fucking weird and scary. And so I'm yelling at my wife. I'm like, hey, start finding those paddles. We may be getting a workout in the last 20 minutes of this. And in the meantime, I'm going to see if I can fix this. And there's a dam. It's small, but there's a dam. You certainly would not want to fall off. You'd probably hurt yourself or die. And we're floating towards it. And I'm like, fuck. So I found this little like breaker thing, and I flipped the breaker.
God damn it.
God damn. Do you have any damn bait? So I flipped the little breaker, and then all of a sudden, like, I turned it back on, and then it starts working again. And I thought, we're just going to fucking right for the dock. If we hit it, we hit it, you know?
Don't fuck around.
No fucking around. So I did, and I told everybody, I was like, everybody sit down. I'm going to full blast into the dock as much as possible. This may hit a little hard. And so, like, we're going towards the dock. As we get close, I'm like, all right, now here's where I would normally pop it into reverse to slow us down and kind of turn into it nicely. I'm a real good docker of boats.
Damn it.
And I bring the throttle up and I go to reverse it. Nothing. Died again. About that time we hit the dock.
So did you have to paddle in reverse?
No, we literally just hit the dock.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Like I said, those boats don't go super fast, but no damage was done. But I was like, thank God we fucking made it. So they have a little charger there, so we just plugged it in, and I was like, so do we tell the boss that it lost power? I think it's just a battery thing. We're going to not talk about this one.
I wouldn't talk about it.
I feel like there's more questions than answers at that point. So good times until the last few minutes.
Yeah. What was the beer of choice on board?
Oh, God. It was a multi-pack of Midwest.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Well, Midwest. There was also like the Champs and some Celtics, and I think that was it. Yeah. But yeah, nothing wrong with it.
So you got to have your Midwest Pale Ale?
Yeah, Midwest Pale. The multi-pack is the Pale, the IPA, the Hazy IPA, and I think it's is it a blonde or a lager? One of a light beer of sorts. I forget. So okay. It's a nice little multi-pack. So I'll get a little pale in there. I'll get a little hazy in there. And, it's a nice day after a couple of mimosas.
Well, that sounds like an awesome time.
Yeah,
I didn't go on a boat, but we went to the Benson Boone concert that was in Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah. I hear he's sexy.
You're not completely familiar with him. Maybe other listeners are.
I think we talked about it last time after the show, and I had to look him up.
Yes. And you knew a song or something, but the guy is a showman of showmans and maybe the best singer in the entire world.
Big words.
Yeah. And, my youngest daughter is really bougie, and I blame my mother-in-law for how bougie she is.
Sure.
So what do you do for a girl who you took to Nashville for a day trip on her birthday last year? You get her Benson Boone concert tickets. And it was neat, though, because I got it was my kid's first concert.
Oh, that's cool.
Because we went to the Grand Ole Opry last year in Nashville, which it's concert-y, but it's not a full-on, experience.
Okay.
And especially because you don't know who's performing when you get the tickets. It's kind of like,
here's your showtime, show up.
Yeah, and then they put people on. And so the fact that my kids were able to go to see somebody that they actually have been wanting to see and love, it was like a real cool dad experience for me to hear my daughter in my right ear just screaming out the song lyrics, like singing like nobody's watching. And it was such a cool moment and experience. I was like, it was unreal.
That's fun. That's awesome.
Yeah. And the funniest part about it too is that I woke up that morning and I was like, man, really don't know how this show is going to be. Not really excited for it. And
really hope this doesn't suck.
I was completely swayed once we got there and he started performing. It was an amazing night. And I got to have myself a couple beers. I treated myself to a couple beers. And it was a lovely evening.
That's awesome.
They don't stay up late very often. And by very often, I mean like New Year's is the only day they stay up late.
And did you guys go to bed at like 9:30 last time?
No, we stayed up till midnight, like 2 years in a row. So stupid.
Right.
But so my kids usually go to bed at 9:00, and the opener didn't start until 8:00.
Oh shit.
So he didn't go on till 9, and he played till about 10:40, 10:45.
Okay.
So yeah, they were getting a little tired, not restless, but just kind of done with it. But we taught them too. So my wife and I met her when I was 21. She was 23.
Mm-hmm.
Most popular thing to do when you're done drinking, like going out, having a night, an event. What do?
Snacks.
You get snacks.
Yeah.
So we taught our kids what fourth meal was. They're 10 and 11, soon to be 10 and 12, but 10 and 11. So we had a 11 p.m. trip to McDonald's, and we got a 20-piece nuggie and 2 large fries to share. And it was again just another cool, fun experience to just be able to be like, hey kids, this is totally okay.
This is totally normal.
Yeah. Like any other random night, like if you're just doing, it's not okay. But because you're out and you just did something,
because you're drunk,
is totally okay.
That's funny. One of them's going to wake up some night at like 10:30 and come over to you, wake you up. Dad, I could really go for some nuggies right about now.
Remember that one night we got a 20-piece nugget at 11? We should do that tonight.
Yeah, and we had heartburn for 3 days straight.
Yeah, that was not a good next day for me. I didn't get to bed till like 12:30, and
oof,
I had to wake up at 5. It was brutal.
Good times.
Yeah,
but worth it. It sounds like.
Absolutely, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
It's awesome. Very nice. Question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Would you drink a beer brewed with bugs?
Are they alive?
Probably not.
Okay, but then yeah. Would I eat a bug? Not a big fan of eating them.
Yeah, I don't
that's
think
like
you
that's
could
like
convince
not
me
for
on that
me.
one.
Yeah,
no. I see people doing like cricket tacos, and I'm fucking out.
Yeah, it's
like,
so fucking weird.
Yeah,
even like the chocolate covered stuff.
No, I'm out.
Like I don't even like wafers, like chocolate covered wafers, like Nutter Butters. Grosses me out.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't like it.
Oh, I do. It's good stuff. There's a brewery in your hood in Wisconsin called Topsy Turvy Brewery. Have you heard of it? Yeah,
they are in Lake Geneva.
Okay,
and their brewery was like fashion. It was like fashioned from an old church.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
I love old church architecture.
Yeah, I looked it up because we went there a couple years ago, and boy, you couldn't find us because they're like Lake Geneva is like this real cutesy downtown, like very busy, very hip, very rich kind of touristy area, and there wasn't a fucking parking spot anywhere.
That's
so I was like,
fun.
I drove past it and I was like, hey man, this looks pretty cool, but can't get in there because I can't fucking park anywhere.
Right.
So
I'm not going to hike 3 miles for your bug beers.
I have heard of them.
Okay, well, Topsy Turvy Brewery decided to take advantage of one of those massive cicada swarms that happen every 17 years.
Sick.
While everyone else was trying to avoid them, the brewers looked around and thought, you know what this needs? Some beer.
Christ.
They collected the cicadas, dehydrated them, ground them into a powder, put the powder into a mesh bag, and steeped it in a brown ale like a giant tea bag. The beer was called Magic Cicada Buzz, and believe it or not, people said it was actually pretty good. Light, slightly sweet, and it sold out almost immediately.
I feel like you got to be able to come up with a better name
than Magic Cicada
like
Buzz.
Buzz, they're always yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. The fact that it's a brown ale grosses me out.
Now, it's well documented that I am a big fan of brown ales.
And if you have been listening since I've been on the show, not a big fan of brown ales.
Right. We definitely differ there. But I'm out on this one. I'm not drinking the cicada brown ale. That's a hard no.
I wouldn't buy it if somebody was like, "Hey, try this." I'd try.
Like have a sip.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna buy a 4-pack or a 6-pack or a pint or.
I'll be honest. Part of that's going to depend on how clear it is. I'm going to want to look at it and make sure it's not like cloudy or anything like that. I feel like they ground it into a powder and that freaks me out.
Yeah, but like steep it like tea.
Yeah, still gross.
And I'm sorry, dehydrating cicadas? That sounds fucking sick.
Yeah,
like
why?
Cicada jerky.
Who's hungry? I just found it on Untapped, and they only had 7 ratings, so not enough to actually have a score. And the last check-in was from 2024. All the check-ins, in fact, were from 2024.
I feel like it's
interesting. Nice brown, someone says. Someone else said beer with periodic cicadas in it. Okay,
I feel like that's
shit.
what you say after a one-night stand.
Interesting. And then he collected his boxers and snuck out of the room. Yeah, that's
Very
weird.
classy.
No thanks. Let us know what you guys think. Mail at craftbeerrepublic.com or something like that. Or 805-538. Beer is even better.
Is it weird that I'll drink poop coffee beer, but I'm just like, I'm not in on the cicada brown ale?
I just was having that thought. I was like, yeah, you want to shit out some coffee beans and make a coffee porter? Pour me up, bartender.
Sign me up.
Yeah. Oh, you want to steep up some crushed cicadas? You fucking psycho.
What are you freak?
Like, we're so fucking weird. Yeah. It's totally strange that we eat or drink the poop beer, but not the bug beer.
God damn it.
Fucking weirdos.
If it made sense, it would make sense, but it doesn't make sense.
True that. All right. If you don't mind, I'm going to crack one open over here.
Please do.
He calls to the bullpen for
beer.
I am drinking a classic. And this was inspired. I was out with some people about 2 weeks ago, I think now. And we're looking at the beer list. And the person I was with, one of the people I was with, not a beer drinker, but trying to enjoy it more. And so he's, he's into the German stuff, like the lighter German stuff and just lighter beers in general. And he always trusts me. He's always like, hey, what do you think I'd like on this menu? And I pointed out a few things. And one of them was the beer I'm drinking tonight. And for some reason he was, he was afraid to try it. I think because I told him, I was like, I haven't had that beer in probably a decade. So here's what I remember of it. I think that freaked him out. So anyways, that beer is North Coast Brewing Company, Scrimshaw Pilsner.
Ooh.
And this is just one of the OGs. I looked it up.
What is on the can there? I can't see it.
That is an ivory that they've carved onto.
Okay. That's nice.
That's what a scrimshaw is. It's when the old-timey sailors would carve sea scenes onto ivory. Apparently it's called scrimshaw.
Okay.
And so I told him, here's what I remember of it. I think you'll enjoy it. He ended up not ordering it. I thought, I want to have this on the show because it's easy to find. So I'll definitely have this on the show and give you my full review at that point. So here it is. Scrimshaw Pilsner from North Coast Brewing. It's 4.5%, 22 IBUs. Has a 3.55 on Untapped with almost 123,000 ratings. Then from the brewery, they say, named for the delicate engravings popularized by 19th century seafarers. Easy for me to say. Scrimshaw is a fresh-tasting Pilsner brewed in the finest European tradition using Munich malt and Hallertau and Tettnang hops. Scrimshaw has a subtle hop character, a crisp, clean palate, and a dry finish. On the nose buds.
Survey says?
One more for the good guys.
Damn, that was good.
It's a little crackery, a little biscuity. It's like a slightly malty Pilsner smell.
Okay.
Digging the old tongue jobby here.
Dig in, Daddy. Turn that jobber into a shovel.
Yeah, this is basically what I remember. It's not the world's lightest Pilsner because you do get a little bit of that hop. Not a ton of hop, but 22 IBUs in a Pils is a little slightly high.
Sure.
It's not quite West Coast status, but a little higher than your average, I would say. So a little hop character. It's definitely crisp, fairly clean. You do get a hint of dank on the finish. Just leaves it a little dry. It does drink extremely dry. So as soon as you have a sip, you got to have another sip.
You got to have another one.
So really not a bad beer, hot day type situation. I think it's a very safe beer for someone who may be not into, all the weird beers we drink.
Sure. Let's say your domestic drinker would enjoy that.
Yeah, exactly. It's an easy upgrade.
something that blows my mind, and maybe it's a price thing for people, I don't know, but to just get a craft Pilsner over a domestic brewed, mass-produced Pilsner, I mean, you're just going to enjoy it that much more. You really are.
Yeah, and I got to say, as you can see, it's a tall boy. That's the only way I could get it as a single at the store I was at. And what does that mean? 19.2 ounces. And I think it was $3.
Well, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, not bad at all. 19.2, $3.
Yeah, it's like
somewhere in that
little over
neighborhood.
a beer and a half for $3.
Yeah. Really
can't get that anywhere.
Oh, the receipt's not itemized. All right.
Can't even get that at my local VFW.
There you go.
Sheesh.
So anyways, pretty good. I actually remember the last time I had this beer. It was at my wife's best friend's wedding, and that was in 2017. And I remember that because it was the same weekend we moved into our current house. It was a busy fucking weekend. So, but yeah, great beer. Solid. Nothing flashy. Just it's been around for a long time, and there's a reason.
Sometimes that's worth it.
Exactly. So glad I have it. All right, little news before we get out of here. Ballast Point, man, what a shit show over there. Their latest disaster is not in the brew house. Ballast Point Brewing is caught in an ownership battle that lawsuits say could push the brewery toward operational collapse. Co-owner William Schorzer,
that's what it is.
Yeah, is accused of taking about $3 million in unauthorized loans using Ballast Point and related companies as collateral. The brewery says it never approved the loans, received none of the money, and has suffered at least $12 million in damages.
Wow.
Lenders have reportedly frozen accounts and intercepted distributor payments, threatening payroll, supplier payments, and brewery operations. Trezos denies the claims, saying he personally guaranteed the loans, has repaid about $2 million of it, and is being pressured into selling his majority stake. This fight follows Ballast Point San Francisco's taproom closure and comes as the brewery promotes its new Super Lager as the official craft beer of the San Diego Padres.
Super Lager.
Yeah, what a great name.
Okay.
The hearing is scheduled for August 14th. Some nice news in San Diego beer. Lost Abbey's Monastery marks grand opening. In this climate, it's nice to see a brewery opening instead of closing. The Lost Abbey's new monastery celebrates its grand opening just last week on Saturday. The Miramar Tap Room is the brewery's 5th and soft launched last month. The brewery's 20th anniversary beer, Duck Creek, will be on tap with 14 other draft offerings and some really awesome vintage bottles from the library, said founder Tommy Arthur. Yeah, and it's really cool because like at one point, Lost Abbey's original brewery was Stone's original brewery. Tiny little spot before they found their Escondido brewery, or built, not found. And they were Lost Abbey is there forever. A few years ago, they closed up shop and they just started contract brewing and opening satellite tap rooms. And that seems to have worked really well for them. They went from the one location at the brewery to now 5 locations. And I think they're not contracting anymore. If I remember correctly, they're actually sharing space at Mother Earth. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong about that.
You have to think contract. Like if you stop your own brewing and just do contract brewing, you gotta probably be saving a lot of money, right? Because you think the other companies are providing the ingredients, right?
I mean, you're paying for the ingredients. It's hard to. I'd love to talk to your brewer about this because, you know, when you own the brewery or at least, you know, lease the building, whatever, you're responsible for the building, for the ingredients, for the overhead, for the insurance, for the water, you know, for everything. When you are contract brewing, you're not responsible for any of that. You tell them the recipe and then they make it and hopefully they do a good job. But I would imagine in order to cover their costs for all the things I just mentioned, they're going to charge more. So your beer cost is going to be higher because they got to cover their overhead.
Right.
But so, yeah, I wonder at what point, you know, what volume of beer does it make sense to have your own spot versus contract brewing?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Somebody with more economic knowledge. Hit us up. Smarten us up. Report. James Watt's second offer to BrewDog tops 30 million pounds. More than 30 million pounds. That's the value of the second bid BrewDog co-founder James Watt made for the brewery he once ran, according to a report from the London Times, which cited unnamed sources. Watt was willing to put 10 million pounds in an earlier offer for BrewDog before Tilray acquired it in March. Tilray Brands paid 41 million pounds for the brand earlier this year and invested another 50 million to stabilize the brand. I had no idea he was trying to get the fucking brewery back. And I think it's hilarious.
I didn't
He's
either.
such an asshole. Yeah, what a douche.
Yeah. Tell you what, though, it's a really heavy story.
Heavy?
It's a lot of pounds.
I got some dad jokes over here.
That's why they keep me here.
That's it. That's definitely it. We'll end it on this one. Tony Romo's latest bad call comes in Wisconsin.
I almost sent you this, but I figured you would get it anyway, so I held off.
All right. Well, I did. I'm glad I found it. Former Dallas Cowboys quarterback and current CBS NFL analyst Tony Romo was arrested on suspicion of operating while intoxicated in Milwaukee.
Yeah, it was right here.
Actually, it's pronounced Milwaukee.
According to the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, Romo was stopped Thursday night while driving south on Interstate 43. Authorities said he performed poorly during standardized field sobriety tests, was booked for a first offense OWI. Romo was later released and scheduled to appear in court on September 21st. The Wisconsin native is also scheduled to compete in the Texas State Open Golf Tournament next week. There you have it.
When you're from Wisconsin, it's just going to catch up with you.
Yeah, he was just doing what you do there.
Yeah. And shit, there's
Right.
people here with, 5, 6, 7 offenses.
We talked about him on this show.
Yeah, they just, they just keep going. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Can't stop.
he's what? He's older than I am. So he's probably like 45 now, 46.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So to get his first that late,
46.
I mean, he's doing a great job.
That's true. As a Wisconsinite.
Yeah. Just do better next time, Tony.
Yeah. Oh, I just looked up his wife too. Hello.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, not a hot wife show. Yeah. Anywho, enough creeping. Follow us on the socials. Oh, no. First, hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Vanessa.
Now, follow us on the socials. 805-53-BEER is the number to call. You can send us an email, mail@craftbeerrepublic.com. All of that good stuffs. Thanks for putting up with whatever noises were coming from behind me. And I hope everyone is staying very well hydrated.
And on that note,
Good night, everybody.